Have you ever noticed how some people seem to have a special energy, an aura that attracts peace and harmony wherever they go? If you know someone born between September and October, you are probably facing a Libran. And today, I will reveal 20 powerful reasons why you should never hurt these very special people. This video can completely transform the way you relate to the Librans in your life, be it your partner, friend, family member, or co-worker. Because when you understand the true essence of a Libran, you discover a treasure of qualities that can enrich your existence in ways you can't imagine. But be careful. If you ignore this information, you may be missing the opportunity to have one of the most loyal and balanced people of the zodiac by your side. Stay with me until the end, because the 20th reason will completely surprise you and may forever change your perspective on these magnificent souls. Reason 1. They are masters of emotional balance. Librans possess a natural gift that very few people manage to develop throughout their entire lives. They know how to maintain emotional balance even in the most challenging situations. When you hurt a Libran, you are attacking precisely this extraordinary characteristic that makes them unique. They can see all sides of a situation before forming an opinion. This means that when they are by your side, you will always have someone who can help you find fair and balanced solutions to your problems. Imagine having a person in your life who never reacts explosively, who always stops, breathes, and thinks before acting. This is the reality when you have a Libran around. They are not cold or calculating. On the contrary, they are deeply emotional, but they process their emotions in a mature and wise way. When you hurt them, you are hurting someone who probably tried to understand your point of view before even defending themselves. They are like a bridge between opposite worlds, capable of uniting people who would never understand each other alone. Therefore, hurting a Libran is like destroying a rare work of art, something that took years to build and can be destroyed in seconds. Reason 2. They possess a unique capacity to forgive. The Libran's capacity for forgiveness goes far beyond what most people can comprehend. They don't forgive just out of politeness or because they were taught to, but because they genuinely believe in people's transformation. When you hurt a Libran, you are hurting someone who probably already forgave you before you even apologized. This characteristic does not make them weak, as many may think, but rather extremely spiritually strong. They understood something that most people take a lifetime to learn. Forgiveness frees more the one who forgives than the one who is forgiven. But there is something even deeper in this capacity of Librans. They can separate the person from their actions. This means that even when someone hurts them deeply, they can still see the potential for goodness in that person. It's as if they have a special filter that allows them to see beyond appearances and momentary behaviors. Therefore, when you hurt a Libran, you are not just hurting an ordinary person. You are hurting someone who sees in you the best you can be, even when you can't see it in yourself. Reason 3. They are natural promoters of peace. Librans were born with a special mission in this world. They are natural promoters of peace and harmony. It's not just a personality trait. It's almost as if it were a life purpose. Where there is conflict, they bring understanding. Where there is anger, they bring calm. Where there is division, they build bridges. When you hurt a Libran, you are attacking someone whose very existence makes the world a better place. They have the rare ability to calm things down, even in the most heated discussions. They don't do this by being submissive or avoiding conflicts, but by using a natural wisdom to find points of agreement between people who seem to have completely opposite views. It's impressive how a Libran can get two people who were fighting to start understanding each other again. They possess an energy that naturally softens the tensions around them. Therefore, environments where there are Librans tend to be more harmonious and welcoming. Hurting these people is like extinguishing a light that illuminates not only your life, but the lives of everyone around. It is wasting a natural source of peace that could benefit you and many other people. Hey, if you're enjoying discovering these secrets about Librans, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any special content about the spiritual world. And tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing where my dear followers are. Reason 4. They have a keen intuition for relationships. The Librans' intuition for relationships is something that borders on the supernatural. They can perceive nuances in the dynamics between people that go unnoticed by most. It's as if they have a sixth sense to understand what is really going on in people's hearts. When you hurt a Libran, you are hurting someone who probably already knew that this could happen, but chose to trust anyway. This intuition does not make them paranoid or distrustful. On the contrary, it makes them more understanding and patient. They can see through the masks that people wear and see their true motivations and fears. Therefore, they are excellent counselors and friends. They know exactly what to say to soothe a wounded heart or to motivate someone who has lost hope. Their intuition also helps them identify when a relationship has the potential to grow or when it is destined to fail. But even when they perceive negative signs, they rarely give up on people immediately. They give chances, believe in change, invest emotional energy hoping for the best. Hurting a Libran is wasting this intuitive wisdom that could help you navigate better through all your relationships. Reason Best 5. They are extremely loyal and committed. The loyalty of a Libran is not something superficial or based only on convenience. It is a deep loyalty, built on solid foundations of mutual respect and genuine affection. When a Libran commits to someone, whether in friendship or a romantic relationship, that commitment comes from the heart. They don't make empty promises or create expectations that they don't intend to fulfill. Therefore, when you hurt a Libran, you are betraying the trust of someone who was truly invested in you. They are not the type to abandon people at the first difficulty. On the contrary, they are the first to appear when you most need support. They stay by your side even when others have already given up. This loyalty does not make them blind or naive. They recognize flaws and problems, but choose to work through them instead of simply running away. It is a rare quality in a world where many people easily give up on relationships. A loyal Libran is like a treasure that few are lucky enough to find. Hurting this person is like throwing away a diamond, something precious that you may never have the opportunity to find again. Their loyalty is a gift that should be valued and protected, not attacked or scorned. Reason 6. They possess a natural elegance that elevates everyone around. There is a natural elegance in Librans that goes far beyond physical appearance. It is an elegance of spirit, a refined way of relating to the world and to people. They treat everyone with dignity and respect, regardless of social status or circumstances. This elegance manifests itself in the way they speak, how they listen, how they resolve conflicts, and how they show affection. When you are in the presence of a Libran, you automatically feel inspired to be a better version of yourself. Not because they judge you or pressure you, but because their own elegant energy naturally elevates the environment. They have the gift of making people feel special and valued. Hurting a Libran is like destroying a living work of art, someone who beautifies the world simply by existing. This elegance is also reflected in the way they deal with adversity. Even when they are suffering, they maintain a dignified and graceful posture. They don't make unnecessary dramas or try to draw attention to their pain. They process their emotions internally and emerge even stronger and wiser. Therefore, when you hurt them, you often don't even realize the damage you've caused, because they deal with pain so elegantly that they seem not to have been affected. Reason 7. They are masters of the art of diplomacy. The diplomatic ability of Librans is truly exceptional. They can navigate the most turbulent waters of human relationships with a grace and wisdom that impresses. They are not manipulative or false. They are genuinely skilled at finding solutions that benefit all parties involved. When you hurt a Libran, you are attacking someone who probably tried to resolve any misunderstanding peacefully and fairly. They have the gift of transforming enemies into friends, of softening hardened hearts, and of finding common ground where others only see irreconcilable differences. This natural diplomacy makes them excellent mediators in family, professional, or personal conflicts. They know how to choose the right words, the appropriate tone, and the right moment to address delicate issues. They don't avoid difficult conversations, but they conduct them in a way that minimizes suffering and maximizes understanding. Therefore, having a Libran in your life is like having a personal advisor who always knows how to calm the storms. Hurting these people is wasting a precious source of relational wisdom that could help you improve all aspects of your social and emotional life. Reason 8. They have an extraordinary capacity to see beauty in everything. Librans possess a special filter through which they see the world. They can find beauty in the most unlikely situations and in the most difficult people. It's not naivety or denial of reality. It's a higher form of perception that allows them to focus on the positive even amidst chaos. When you hurt a Libran, you are hurting someone who probably saw beauty in you even in your darkest moments. They have the gift of seeing potential where others only see problems. They can see the butterfly within the caterpillar, the flower within the seed, the diamond within the coal. This special vision makes them natural optimists, not superficially, but with a deep hope based on the belief that everything can be transformed. Therefore, they are excellent at motivating people who have lost faith in themselves. They know exactly how to make someone feel valued and capable. Hurting a Libran is like breaking a magic mirror that reflected the best of you. It is losing someone who saw you as the wonderful person you can be, even when you can't see yourself that way. Reason 9. They are natural sources of inspiration and motivation. The energy of Librans has something special that naturally inspires the people around them. They don't need to make big speeches or dramatic gestures to motivate someone. Their own way of being, balanced and harmonious, already serves as an example and inspiration. When you hurt a Libran, you are attacking someone who has probably already inspired you in some way, even if you haven't consciously noticed. They have the ability to make you believe in yourself again when everything seems lost. They don't do this with empty words or forced optimism, but with a genuine and welcoming presence that makes you feel that anything is possible. They are like lighthouses in the midst of darkness, guiding people to their best paths. Their inspiration comes from the way they face life's challenges. They don't pretend that problems don't exist, but they show that it's possible to face them while maintaining dignity and hope. Therefore, people who live with Librans often become better versions of themselves, inspired by the example of balance and wisdom they witness daily. Hurting these people is like extinguishing a light that could illuminate not only your path, but the path of many others. Reason 10. They possess an incomparable generosity of spirit. The generosity of Librans goes far beyond the material. They are generous with their time, their attention, their understanding, and their love. They don't calculate what they will receive in return when they decide to help someone. Their generosity flows naturally from the heart, like water from a crystalline spring. When you hurt a Libran, you are hurting someone who has probably already offered you more than you realized or deserve. They are the type who remembers your birthday, who asks how you are really doing, and who listens attentively to your concerns. They don't do this out of social obligation, but because they genuinely care. Their generosity also manifests itself in the way they share their achievements and successes. They are not selfish or destructively competitive. They are genuinely happy when they see others progressing and make a point of celebrating these victories. Therefore, environments where there are Librans tend to be more collaborative and less toxic. Hurting a Libran is like poisoning a well that feeds an entire community. It is destroying a source of kindness that benefits not only you, but everyone who is lucky enough to know this special person. Reason 11. They are excellent listeners and counselors. The ability of Librans to truly listen is a rare gift in today's world. They don't just wait for their turn to speak, but they really absorb what you're saying, process your emotions, and respond meaningfully. When you hurt a Libran, you are attacking someone who has probably already listened to you in difficult times without judgment or haste to solve everything. They understand that sometimes a person just needs to be heard, not necessarily advised. They know when to offer solutions and when to just offer a friendly shoulder. This ability makes them natural confidants, people in whom others instinctively trust their secrets and concerns. They don't betray this trust. or use the information against the person later. They are like safe boxes where you can deposit your fears and anxieties knowing that they will be protected. When they offer advice, they do so wisely and carefully, always considering the person's well-being above any personal agenda. Therefore, having a Libran as a friend is like having permanent access to a wise and compassionate therapist. Hurting these people is losing a precious source of emotional support and wise guidance. Reason 12. They have extraordinary patience. The patience of Librans is truly impressive. They can remain calm in situations that would make other people explode with anger or frustration. It's not passivity or lack of personality, but a deep understanding that good things take time to develop. When you hurt a Libran, you are hurting someone who has probably had patience with your flaws and limitations far beyond what would be reasonable to expect. They understand that change is a process, not an instantaneous event. Therefore, they don't pressure people to transform overnight. They give space, time, and opportunities for growth to happen naturally. This patience extends to all aspects of life. They are able to work on long-term projects without despairing, to build strong relationships even when facing obstacles, to forgive repeated mistakes, hoping that the person will learn from their experiences. Hurting a Libran is wasting this precious patience, something that very few people can offer in today's fast-paced world. It's like breaking an hourglass that marks not only time, but the hope that everything can improve if we give the necessary opportunity. Reason 13. They are naturally just and impartial. The pursuit of justice is a fundamental characteristic of Librans. They have a natural ability to see all sides of a situation before forming an opinion or making a decision. They are not driven by momentary emotions or personal prejudices when they need to judge a situation. When you hurt a Libran, you are attacking someone who has probably always treated you fairly, even when you didn't deserve it. They don't make exceptions for people or unfair favoritism. They treat everyone with the same standard of dignity and respect, regardless of social status, appearance, or popularity. This natural impartiality makes them excellent mediators in conflicts, because all parties trust that they will be heard and treated fairly. They don't twist the facts to favor a specific side or allow personal sympathies to interfere with their judgment. Therefore, when a Libran takes a position on something, you can be sure that it was a well thought out and balanced decision. Hurting these people is like corrupting a scale that always weighed things correctly, losing a reliable source of ethical and moral guidance. Reason 14. They possess a unique harmonizing energy. Librans carry with them a special energy that naturally harmonizes environments and relationships. It's not something they do consciously, it's a natural emanation of their balanced being. When you hurt a Libran, you are attacking someone whose mere presence makes spaces more pleasant and welcoming. They have the gift of softening tensions without having to say a word. Their calm and balanced energy is contagious to the people around them, causing conflicts to resolve more easily and misunderstandings to naturally disappear. It's impressive how a tense meeting can become more productive when a Libran is present, or how a party can become more harmonious with their participation. They are not the center of attention or seek protagonism, but their positive influence is felt by everyone. Hurting a Libran is like destroying a tuning fork that kept the entire orchestra in tune. It is losing a stabilizing element that benefited not only you, but the entire social environment to which this person belongs. Their harmonizing energy is a rare gift that should be valued and protected, not attacked or scorned. Reason 15. They are extremely trustworthy and discreet. The trustworthiness of a Libran is something you can bet on without fear. When they promise something, they keep it. When they say they'll be there, they show up. When they keep a secret, they take it to the grave. They are not people who make empty promises or create expectations that they don't intend to fulfill. When you hurt a Libran, you are betraying the trust of someone who has always been worthy of yours. They understand the value of a given word and treat their commitments seriously. They are not the type to cancel plans at the last minute for something better that came up, or to tell their secrets to other people. This reliability extends to all aspects of life. They are dedicated employees, loyal friends, committed partners. When they take on a responsibility, they make sure to fulfill it in the best possible way. Therefore, having a Libran in your life is like having a solid anchor amidst the storms. You know you can count on them regardless of the circumstances. Hurting these people is like breaking a bridge that you always knew would be there when you needed to cross turbulent waters. Reason 16. They have advanced emotional wisdom. The emotional intelligence of Librans is at a very high level. They not only understand their own emotions, but also have a keen perception of the feelings of others. They can read between the lines, pick up subtle signals, and respond appropriately to different emotional states. When you hurt a Libra, you are hurting someone who probably already noticed your inner struggles and tried to help you in some way. They know when someone is pretending to be fine, when anger is actually disguised fear, when aggressive behavior hides a deep wound. This emotional wisdom makes them compassionate and patient with human flaws. They don't overreact to the difficult moments of others because they understand that everyone goes through complicated phases. Therefore, they are excellent at calming emotional crises and helping people process complex feelings. Hurting a Libran is wasting this emotional wisdom that could help you develop a richer inner life and healthier relationships. It's like throwing away an instruction manual for navigating the complex world of human emotions. Reason 17. They are sources of stability and security. Librans provide a unique sense of stability and security to the people around them. They are not dramatic or unpredictable. You always know what to expect from them because they are consistent in their values and behaviors. When you hurt a Libra, you are attacking someone who has always been a solid rock in your life, even if you haven't consciously noticed. They don't change moods drastically or make impulsive decisions that can harm others. They are like a safe harbor where you can anchor when life's storms become too intense. This stability does not make them predictably boring, but rather reassuringly reliable. They know how to balance spontaneity with responsibility, adventure with security. Therefore, relationships with Librans tend to be longer lasting and more satisfying. They offer a solid foundation on which other people can build their dreams and plans. Hurting these people is like shaking the foundations of a solid building, losing a precious source of emotional stability that benefited not only you, but everyone who depended on this calm and constant strength. Reason 18. They possess a natural capacity for emotional healing. Librans have a special gift for healing emotional wounds, both their own and others. They are not professional therapists, but they have a natural intuition about how to help wounded hearts recover. When you hurt a Libran, you are attacking someone who has probably already helped you overcome some emotional pain without you even realizing it. They instinctively know when someone needs space and when they need company, when they need words of encouragement and when they just need a silent hug. Their presence has something healing, like a gentle balm that relieves old pains and unresolved traumas. They don't do this invasively or forcefully, but with a natural delicacy that allows healing to happen at the right time. Therefore, people who are going through difficult times instinctively seek the company of Librans. They feel they can let their guard down and be vulnerable without fear of judgment or exploitation. Hurting a Libran is like destroying an emotional hospital that offered free healing to all who needed it. It is losing a precious resource of restoration and renewal that benefited the entire community around. Reason 19. They are living examples of how to live with grace. Librans demonstrate through their lives how it is possible to navigate the complexities of human existence while maintaining grace and dignity. They are not perfect or pretend to be, but they face their challenges in a way that inspires admiration and respect. When you hurt a Libran, you are attacking someone who serves as an example of how to live well, even in the midst of difficulties. They show that it is possible to be strong without being aggressive, confident without being arrogant, determined without being insensitive. Their way of dealing with life's obstacles teaches valuable lessons about resilience and wisdom. They don't victimize themselves or blame others for their difficulties, but they take responsibility for their choices and constantly work to improve. Therefore, living with Librans is like having access to a practical course on how to live with more balance and harmony. Hurting these people is like breaking a mirror that reflected the best possible version of humanity. It is losing a model of how to be human in a higher and inspiring way, something increasingly rare in today's world. Reason 20. They are bridges between the material and spiritual worlds. This is the deepest and most powerful reason of all. Librans have a special connection with higher dimensions of existence. They serve as bridges between the material world we live in and the more subtle spiritual realities. They are not necessarily religious in the traditional sense, but they have an intuitive understanding of the universal laws of balance and harmony. When you hurt a Libran, you are attacking someone who carries a sacred mission to bring more light and balance to this world. They are instruments through which higher energies can manifest themselves in a gentle and loving way. Therefore, their presence has something mystical and transformative. They can awaken in people a higher consciousness about the purpose of life and the importance of harmonious relationships. Hurting a Libran is like interrupting a divine channel that was trying to transmit wisdom and healing to the world. It is a huge spiritual responsibility that can affect not only this life, but also your future paths. They are precious gifts that the universe puts in our lives to teach us about love, justice, and balance. Therefore, they should be treated with the utmost respect and care possible. After knowing these 20 powerful reasons, it becomes clear that hurting a Libran is much more than just hurting a person. It is attacking a precious source of balance, harmony, and wisdom that benefits not only you, but everyone around. Librans are special beings who carry unique gifts to make this world a better place. They deserve to be valued, protected, and loved for who they truly are. If you have a Libran in your life, consider yourself blessed. Treat this person with the affection and respect they deserve. And if you have already hurt a Libran in the past, it is never too late to ask for forgiveness and begin to honor this special soul in the right way. Remember, when you take good care of a Libran, you are investing in more harmony and happiness for your own life as well. Now tell me, which of these reasons impressed you the most? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to receive more special content about the spiritual world and the mysteries of the zodiac.